you'll go ahead and click on that. And in the drop down, go ahead and put cafe.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm going to remove the AI notes, if that's okay. Thank you. I got the thumbs up from our boss.
So we're going to give it just a couple minutes, but in the chat, if you're just joining us, if you guys wouldn't mind filling out our attendance tracker, that way we can keep record and continuing having these cafes. We would love that. So if you wouldn't mind just taking a minute. And then if you want to introduce yourself in the chat, you can while we're waiting. We're expecting a few more folks.
If you'll tell us your name and where you're from, that would be great.
Hi, Renee. We have Renee from Belen. So happy to see you.
Woo woo!
Rebecca is driving home from Belen right now, Renee. She was just at the family school, so she's commuting. And then we have, how do you say your name? Adamson, Rio? I'm sorry, that's very unique. Okay, sorry. Sorry for putting you on the spot, but you're from our organization, correct? So nice to see you.
He used to work at, I haven't seen him in a long time. Hello. He used to be at, oh my God, I just blanked at the school by Del Norte.
Right, Next Gen Academy.
I
was filling out the form, and so I had the Zoom window hidden. I couldn't find it.
Awesome. And when you go and hide it and somebody wants you to talk. So sorry about that. Glad you're here. And we have Victoria from Array.
Hi, everybody. I had the Zoom issue too. I was filling out the form, but I had UDL here for quite a while, and Belen has adopted New Mexico UDL, and we're great partners. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm glad it's being recorded. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. And then we also have Cindy from CREC in Las Cruces. So, hi, Cindy. If you could, those of you that are joining, if you could drop your name and where you're from in the chat, we really appreciate you being here. And we're also, we keep posting our attendance. It's a bit.ly link that says NMUDL Winter. If you could click on that link in the chat and sign in. We need proof that we're actually doing our work so we can get more funding.
For Belen Consolidated Schools?
Yes. Awesome. So Selena, you give me the go ahead when you
Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and start. I'd like to introduce our team. I'm Selena Shepard, and I've been a teacher for over 20 years, mostly 5th grade. And last year I stepped into the instructional role at UDL, and I'm loving the job, working with teachers and students. It's the best of both worlds. And then I'll do tag, you're it, Jennifer.
Thank you. I'm Jennifer Armstrong, and I have been a teacher now for 18 years. I started in Maryland. I was an inclusive teacher. My degree is in special education. My master's degree is in special education. So UDL is dear and near to my heart. And I've been in New Mexico now for 8 years, and I've been part of this UDL team going on 3, I believe. So I'm super excited to be here and happy to share some amazing resources with you guys tonight. Oh, and I'm going to tag Rebecca because she's driving. She's my friend that is helping in Belen, and she's driving right now home to Las Cruces. Are you there, Becky?
Yep, I'm here. Hi, guys. How are you? I just left Berlin Family School. That was a really happy place to be. This is my 18th year in education, I think, and my background is in TESOL, and I love working with kids and learning new things. So I'm happy to be with everyone today. Sorry, forgot. That's hard to remember to pass the baton. Candace, go.
Everybody, I'm Candace Forg and I live in Melrose, New Mexico, and I'm part of this lovely team. I've been in education 18 years as well, and I have done a little bit of everything from elementary ed, online high school, reading interventionist and specialist, MLSS coach, and now this is my favorite role ever, is being part of this UDL team because it includes everything. So we love it and we love to support all of you. Okay, I'm going to pass it to Janae. Have you gone? Okay, go. Janae.
Hello, welcome everybody. I'll go quick so we can have more time on the cafe, but my name is Janae Minicucci. This is year 25, which is crazy. UDL is at my heart and soul in everything I have done. And I'm super excited that I got to take my passion and make it statewide. And so my background's crazy. We'll just leave it at that. You name it, I've done it, regular ed, special ed, and everything in between. But I know you guys are in for a jam-packed session today. And so with that, I'm going to toss it to Alexis. Did you already go?
No, not yet. Hi, Alexis Rell. So glad to be here. Lots of years in teaching, and I'm going to pass to Kemi.
Hi, Cami LaPlatte. I'm up north in Aztec, New Mexico. Been in education over 30 plus years in multiple roles. My heart is in high school and early college, and especially in the social emotional part of it with the counseling and special education. That's us. Yay.
Well, all of us, our big group of 7 or 8, I don't even know what we're at. All right, Jennifer, if you want to go ahead and share and just jump to slide 2.
Oh, are you not seeing it?
No.
That's interesting. Go back. I've been on slide 2 for quite some time.
Oh, no.
See it now?
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Let
You
me,
want me to do it?
yes, you are
Okay.
here. Can you see now? Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Silly, sorry moment. I'm going to tell myself I stopped sharing and I'm going to share again. Okay, there we go. Can you
All
guys
right.
see that? Okay.
All right. Our goals today, we have 3 that we're going to work on, and one is understanding the power of Eduprotocals and how it can make grammar more engaging and understandable for your students. Our second goal is you guys are going to pretend you don't know what 8 parts of speech are, so you're going to practice identifying and labeling the 8 parts of speech in sentences and images. And then the last goal, which I think is the most important, is how you're going to integrate it into your classroom and also learning the assistive technology that your students can use while integrating it.
And so
All
I'm going
right.
to stop sharing just for a minute and I'm going to grab our resource toolkit for you. And I'm going to grab the link real quick and drop it in the chat so you can access this PDF. And we know that we have some of our friends here this evening are, can you guys access that? You should be okay with that, hopefully. So it links to the drive. But anyways, this evening we are going to, as Selena said, we're going to have you guys interact with our presentation as if you were students. So if you would open the PDF and go ahead and click on the hyperlink with dive into action. So get ready to engage, create, and experience the process firsthand as Selena takes us through it. And then we have our second heading here, Classroom Ready, Tools to Transform Teaching. So we have put everything that Selena is going to reference this evening into categories for the upper grades and then also the primary grades. And then at the very end, last but not least, we have our UDL aligned strategies. Everything we do is because of the UDL framework. So you're going to find that with the Eduprotocols, it is packed with all kinds of strategies aligned with UDL that really help with student understanding, clear and predictable structure, chunking of information, frequent low stakes practice. It just goes on and on. Flexible tools. It provides immediate feedback. It offers options for differentiation. And then I think one of the most important things is it just really builds in student collaboration and community in a safe place. So that is a document that we have added to our toolkit for you guys. And then also we're going to talk a little bit about the assistive technology that is used within Google or Microsoft, or if you're part of our project, that is necessary for some and good for all, but you have access to all of these resources.
All right. So go ahead and hit the next, push the next slide here. So 8 parts of speech traditionally is taught in isolation outside of writing. And so it's important with Eduprotocols that you know it's now put back into the content and you can use it across content areas. So say you have science or social studies, it can be implemented into those content areas as well. So I'm going to go ahead and have Jennifer press play, and we're going to watch probably about half of this just to kind of give you some refresh on your background knowledge about 8 parts of speech.
All right, and hopefully our volume and audio works. You hear it?
Oh, Jennifer, you may have to stop sharing and then share with sound.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Did you push hit share with sound? And video
Okay.
quality, you may have to
Okay, so
try
let's
again.
so let me stop share.
Sorry, guys, technical difficulties sometimes.
And we practiced everything. So share with sound, is that under advanced sharing options?
So when you go to share, it should be a little box right underneath. Maybe.
I don't see that. So Selena, I'm going to let you share.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay. All right, can everybody see the screen? I've lost you guys, so I can't see faces.
We can see it. Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Jack Cartman, Kids Music Channel.
All right, so I'm gonna exit out of that just because I know you guys know your 8 parts of speech, but it's important to show videos as one way of representation for students to access that information. All right, let's back in the slideshow mode here. from here, I've made, and you guys will have this resource, but for my students, instead of putting posters on the wall, because we know research has showed that students sometimes become like desensitized or are numb to the stuff we put on the wall, I create a quick card or a cheat sheet, and I put it into a table topper and on the students groups. So here you can see the table topper, so they have quick access. We don't expect all kids to remember what all of those words mean, what all the parts of the speech are. So it's a quick access. And here you can see a student, they have the picture and then they are doing all the parts of speech and then writing their paragraph. Any questions on that? So I really like this. I change them out on my tables, and I have a teacher that I work with at Albuquerque School of Excellence who she has adopted this strategy, and when I walk into her classroom, she has got her little quick cards on the table toppers there.
And I
Any
love
questions?
I just have a comment, Selena, and I see Alexis is giving us the emoji hearts. So thank you, Alexis. I think this is amazing because in UDL, we're constantly assessing the environment and looking for potential barriers proactively. So I can see this being a way to remove barriers for students who can't see the board, you know, or are very distracted. And so we can really customize this. And I also love that it's something that's really available in our society. You know, you can get these anywhere. I wanted to give a shout out to Family School in Belen. I was there this morning and I went to check in, and there was a clipboard, a standing clipboard. And I've never seen those. I don't know why I've never seen those, but it's just standing right there, right in your face. Don't forget to sign in. And I thought, how cool would that be if you had a standing clipboard for all of your students and they could just interchangeably quickly put whatever they're trying to see in close proximity right next to them. So I love it.
All right. So I'm going to give Jennifer controls here, reins here. Let me stop sharing.
We navigate back and forth between our virtual worlds. So thank you, Selena. You know, we can't talk about writing without talking about accessibility. You know, that's what our team does. You know, at the heart of what we do, it's about all kinds of strategies, no tech, low tech to high tech, but it's really about making sure that things are accessible first. And so when we're talking about writing, we have to have a conversation about these accessibility features that are universally put out in so many of our programs that are free for students. So we just wanted to make sure that you know about these. So this is just going to be a quick 2-minute thing here. So I'm going to show you some voice output. We say voice output or speech recognition or speech to text or dictate. We have all kinds of words to describe when our students are getting their thoughts on paper with their voice. And then one of the strategies, if they're using their voice to get their thoughts on paper, whether it's brainstorming or things like that, we love to use this strategy. It's just a checklist. Again, you could print this out and put it on that table topper that Selena just referenced, where we say, think it, say it, check it, and fix it, because using your voice is really a higher level skill when it comes to writing. So if you're in Google Slides and you have your students, you know, writing right into, Selena, should I go ahead and jump down to our slides? So all of us are going to get a slide and get to experience writing. You don't have to use voice output if you don't want. But if you do have a student that requires this, it's necessary for them, or you just want students to know it's available to them, in Google Slides, you have a tool that's called Dictate Speaker Notes. And so in the Google platform, this is called Voice Type. Now, you can't have your students type with their voice right into the text box, but if you want them to use their voice to get their thoughts out as they are thinking about different parts of speech, as they're brainstorming them or forming their 5-sentence paragraph, you would just have them click on to Tools, Dictate Speaker Notes, and then a microphone is going to pop up And then you would just have them click on that microphone and it's going to pick up everything that they say. Okay, and then you would just have them copy and paste that into their text box. If you are using Google Docs, it's the same thing. And it's the same on the handout that we shared with you. There's a shortcut, Command-Shift-S, but it's the same thing, tools, and then it's voice typing, so they can use their voice. If you're a Microsoft district or using Microsoft Word, I know a lot of you are, especially our friends in Belen. So I'm just going to share my email real quick on, I hope nothing pops out there. So in Microsoft Word, there's a built-in universal tool called Dictate. And I really like how Microsoft just puts it right there on the toolbar for you. And it's the same in PowerPoint. So Selena's going to show you the Eduprotocals in PowerPoint as well. So those are free tools available to your students. And if we have time at the end, we'll show you how Co-Writer really packs a better punch when it comes to accessibility with word prediction and speech recognition. Are there any questions about that?
We just wanted to show you for those that don't have the Snap and Read and Co-Writer tools. So, all right, if you want to go ahead and put it into present mode, I guess. All right. So everybody should have access to, actually, you know what, can I take over real quick, Jennifer? Sorry. Everybody should have access to that slide deck, and if you don't, I'll go ahead and get it here for you again, just so you have it. Because everybody is going to build today. You're going to get to play. You're going to get to experience. Right. So we like to have those accessibility tools to help the kids that may have those barriers in writing. So here in Eduprotocols, you can take a silly picture, or you could take a picture of in history, or you could take a picture of a science experiment or some kind of tool in science and do the same thing. So as students, we just watched the video on 8 parts. And then we looked at our quick card to kind of refresh our background memory. And now we have this picture, this silly picture. So what I want you to do is I want you to observe nouns, verbs, and adjectives that are happening within that picture. And kind of start thinking, what do you notice? What do you observe? And what I would do with my class when introducing this protocol is I would actually give them paper and pencil for the first week, and we would complete together. So we're going to pretend like we've done this for a week and do it digitally. So everybody should find a slide. So this is the part where I would go, Rebecca, you get slide 9, and Janae, you get slide 10, but because you're adults, I think you can find a slide and put your name on it, and go ahead and do that. And if you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand or type it in the chat, or just unmute. On everybody's slide, I've also included the picture so you don't have to go back to slide 8. So if I go to slide 9 and I scoot to the left, you can see that the picture is there. So you can do this. So the first thing I want to do as a group, and you can share if you are brave enough, I want you to create a 3-word sentence. Like Tarzan would say to describe the picture. A 3-word sentence, just like Tarzan would speak, that would describe the picture. And then you put those 3 words. So I'm going to jump on slide 7. And then everybody else can find their slide. Are you struggling with finding the slide deck or getting a slide? Is everybody okay? Okay, so a 3-word sentence. I might put horse has, or horse big mouth. And just imagine Tarzan saying it. And go ahead and put that into a slide. And the way you can tell if somebody's on a slide over to the left, if there's more than one person, you can see their little icons popping up. So does anybody want to share their Tarzan sentence?
Can I just add, yes, Anne, if the little link to the slide is in your way, there's a like URL, just click on it and you can drag it down to the bottom if it's in your way, because it was in the way for the 3-word sentence. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm on slide 9 and I put horse is brown.
Horse is brown. All right, anyone else? So I would be doing this with the students. They would be giving me ideas and I would plug it in. And if somebody could pop in the links for Cindy, that would be great. I appreciate that. All right, anybody else brave enough to share?
Horse neighing loud.
I put happy horse outside.
Right.
I put laugh with me.
All right, so now let's look at that picture and make some observations. And we're only going to come up with 3. What are 3 nouns that you see in that picture? And just unmute and tell me and I'll type 3 nouns. Just give me one and so we can give everybody an opportunity.
Tree.
Teeth, is that what I heard?
Tree.
Oh, tree. Okay, because there is a tree in the background, right? What's another one?
I would say pasture.
Okay. And I'm just going to go for the simple one. It's a horse. All right. So what I would tell my students is if you can't come up with 3 nouns on your own, you can go ahead and copy mine. That's that built-in differentiation. But then I say, but if you have something better, put it in there, make it better. And then we'll do the same thing with adjectives. So go ahead and put in 3 adjectives. So you might want to look at tree. The tree is green. And then maybe it's a beautiful pasture. And it's a brown horse. And again, if you have better ideas, go ahead and plug in your ideas. And then we will come over to verbs, and I remind the students, verbs are action words, things you can do. So looking at that picture, does anybody have a good verb?
Name.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and I'm probably going to spell it wrong. Did I spell it right? Name?
Good job.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm a first speller here. So looking at that picture, what other observations can you make with the verb? So we have name. Any other verbs? Anybody brave enough to share?
Yawn.
Yawn. And the horse, we could use our background knowledge. We could say the horse is standing because we don't know that, but based on our knowledge of horses, that it could be standing, right? And then adverbs describe the verb. So we could say, what could be a good adverb for name or whatever you put in there. So for, let's see.
About
Loudly.
powerfully.
Loudly, did I hear loudly? That's something. Loudly neighing. And then yawning, what would be a good one for yawning? It's a big yawn, right?
Tiredly.
So,
Yeah.
so we could do tiredly, oh,
Softly.
softly. So you can go ahead and fill that in. And standing, he is, what's a one? Standing strong. How is he standing? He's standing strong or I don't know. I can't think of something right now off the top of my head.
Powerfully. Powerfully.
Powerfully, that's good.
Can horses stand powerfully? I'm not sure.
Sure.
Yes. Muscularly.
And then prepositions show that that direction. So we just need to put one in there. So like in, it's our standing on, in. I'm not doing the best examples right now in my head. Does anybody have a good preposition for that? Remember, it shows direction.
In front.
In front. That's great.
Below,
Below.
because he's below the tree.
Yes. He's on the ground, right? And then interjections are those words that make a sound like, ah, bang, boom. Does anybody have a word that might go good with interjections?
Wow.
Wow. Yes. Like, wow. Very good. Conjunctions are those connecting words. So the kids would have seen this in the video. We would have done the background knowledge, but I'm just doing it to kind of, I always have to refresh my brain too. Like, what are these things? So conjunctions are those connecting words like and, or, but. So you could put a few in there if you wanted to, just to kind of. And pronouns, what pronoun would you use for the horse? Do you want your horse? You know, you could use he, she, they. So you could put the one you're comfortable with. And then again, not teaching not teaching in isolation, having the kids work on a simile. So comparing something using like or as. So the horse is as brown as, oh gosh, I don't know. As brown as a
A
chocolate.
nice cup of coffee.
Yes, there you go, because Renee loves her coffee. That's perfect. The horse is as brown as a nice cup of coffee. All right, so now everybody should have all their boxes filled in, and this is the part where it comes into the context. So we've kind of taken the 8 parts, and now we're going to put it into a paragraph. And what I tell the kids is they need to use all the words that they've put here, but they can add more. So they're not limited to these, but these are the words that they need to make sure they're in their writing. So go ahead and start your 5-sentence paragraph. If you want to use that tool that Jennifer showed us with accessibility and where you want to speak into it, you've got to do it. Remember, you've got to do it in the notes and then copy and paste, but go ahead and write your paragraph. Oops. And if you double click into it, it should work, and you may have to push enter. All right, so does anybody want to share their paragraph? Is anybody brave enough? So this is what I would do with my students. I would, the first or 2 days, I would have them volunteer. And then by the third day, everybody would share. So then there's no gotcha moments, no picking sticks. Everybody knows that the expectation is that they will share their writing. And if it's on a Google slide deck, you can present that on the Promethean board or your overhead projectors.
I can share, but it might not be complete.
It's okay.
Okay.
What slide are you on? And I'll go
I'm
down.
on slide number 9.
Okay. All right.
And I just I'm more sloth-like, but I feel comfortable with this group. It says, wow, the brown horse is standing powerfully near the green tree and pretty pasture. The horse is yawning softly below the green tree as he's standing on the pretty pasture. Again, I'm repeating, and the horse is as brown as a nice cup of coffee.
Right, good job. Thank you for sharing. And so kids are hearing this. So when other kids are sharing, they're getting oh gosh, what the it's not repetitive but they're getting more information. So kids who maybe only wrote 3 sentences, next time they're going to go, oh, I can really do 5 or more sentences. And they can hear the examples from the students. So the students are becoming the expert and they're learning from each other. And you can also incorporate that simile in there. And if you wanted to take it a step past that, you could highlight with like the summer. So, or let's see, where's the brown horse? So the brown horse I could make blue, like that light blue, and I can highlight it. And the kids could go identify the parts of speech. So that was one of the goals, is that they would identify the parts of speech in pictures and in their sentences. Are there any questions about that? All right. Anybody else want to share?
I will.
Okay.
I will. I'm on slide 14.
Okay. All right.
I was having fun with it. I said, the brown and white horse woke up one morning in front of the tree in the pasture. He neighed loudly as he asked for food. He tiredly yawned as he was still tired from the rooster chasing him all hours of the night. When the jockey went to get him ready for his important race, he thought to himself, wow, he doesn't seem very energetic today.
Right, that's wonderful. So I like how you added other words and other ideas into the story or into the paragraph. So this is also a very quick, informative assessment. So as your kids are presenting, you get that 30-second present, and then you can say, oh, so-and-so forgot periods. And you can say, hey, I would like, you did great detail, but you forgot your period. So you can give them that constructive feedback right there in the moment, instead of waiting 2 weeks later to grade. We take that stack of papers home and it sits in the car. So this gives immediate feedback, which is so important, and a grade in the grade book. So, and that's part of the UDL, is giving that immediate feedback.
I think mine came out kind of fun, Selena. It's a little silly, but I'm pleased with my simile at the end.
All right. What
I'm 17.
Okay. All right.
Should I read it? Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I think, as I look at the fuzzy horse chewing hungrily on the green grass, he began to laugh loudly and as he aggressively stretches his neck. It reminds me that sometimes we don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth.
That's great.
That's cute.
And it's fun, and it's, it takes away from sitting in a workbook, circling the nouns, putting a line under the verbs, and kids are more engaged. And you're going to find even your students who struggle are going to enjoy this. Anybody else want to share? All right, so I'm going to skip all the way down. We had a lot of people kind of plugged in, so you're going to have to skip down to slide 34. And if you want to jump out of the slide deck too, you can come back to the Zoom by hitting that little pushing the zoom button in your, oh, isn't the dashboard or the dock, sorry. So now littles are a little different. So I've gone into 2 second grade classrooms at one of the schools that I coach with and have done the same thing. So littles, I've made a different type of table topper and turned it sideways. I actually just purchased the normal one so I wouldn't have to, because the kids are like, why is it sideways? So here you can see the students accessing the chart, and then they have a paper and pencil. So that, again, this is the resource that I put in the tabletop, which you guys will have access to in that document that Jennifer created. And here's what I would do with the primary grades. So what I did was I put this picture up on the board. They have the projector type boards. And then we went through, we watched a different video actually made by second graders about 8 parts of speech. And then I created a slide where we identified some nouns, verbs, and adjectives, and I can share that with you as well. But then we identified together. So I had the kids tell me the nouns first. So you can see the nouns are in black. So I wrote on the board, on the whiteboard, and kind of, oh, there's the GLAD, almost kind of like a GLAD strategy, or ESL strategy. And then I did verbs. I believe that's blue. It doesn't look blue. And then the adjectives are in red. So we did this as a whole class. I had second graders telling me some kids identified this as sand and some kids identified it as snow. And it's up to them. That's their choice because of their background knowledge. So if Jennifer was saying, if you're from back east, you might identify as sand. And this is I'm sorry, not sand, but the snow because of all the snow and the blue sky. Or if you're from New Mexico, it might be white sands with the blue sky, or it might be a beach. So you'll see that there's different blue sky, blue water. And again, all done by second graders. And then I would hand out this as the paper pencil. And together I would tell them you need to write 3 adjectives. And for those kids that struggle, we would do it together. So I tell the kids, you pick the 3 from the picture. And then the students who are a little hesitant to write, I ask them, well, what adjective did you like? And what noun? And so we do it together. And then then they write a sentence. So I was in one second grade classroom where they could write 3 sentences, and the other one, she was like, no, they can probably only do 1. But it's built-in differentiation. So you have the kids who are going to write 1, and the kids who are going to write and then flip on the back and write more. So, and those who were there. So built-in differentiation. And here you can see like the end product. So they wrote their 3 adjectives, their nouns, and their verbs, and then wrote, this little girl, she wrote on the back. And then here.
This is like sentence patterning chart. And then we have somebody that says silly is good. So they're engaging in the chat, Selena.
Oh, good. And then I did, in the second class, I did have like 3 or 4 who were like, I don't know what to write. So I sat down and I created a sentence starter, and then they just got to it. And the teacher is normally a 5th grade teacher, and she's like, that's a good way to engage them. Once I had the sentence starter at their desk, they wrote and they filled in the blank and were successful. So again, that built-in differentiation is there. This is just a bird's eye view. You can see the table topper and then the different writing. So you've got one who's just starting. I just wanted to show the different levels. And then another example of them writing. I did want to show just real quick. Oh, I got too many things right here. Can you guys see the new? So this is what I did with the primaries. They have the video made by the second graders, and then we got interactive. So they had, when I clicked on each picture, they had to tell me, just looking at this as the picture, it's a shoe. Is it an adjective, noun, or verb? And instead of verbally doing it, everybody did, N for noun. And I did that through. And a lot of them were like, well, there's more than just a verb. I'm like, yes, I love that. Let's talk about the other things you see. So that was another way to introduce those 8 parts. So, and I believe I did give you access on that document that we shared with you guys to have that. Any questions so far? So if like maybe you did a microscope as the picture and the kids would identify, even using all the 8 parts, they could identify the parts of the microscope and then talk about how to use it using those 8 parts of speech. If you take a social studies picture, you could put the social studies picture, they identify the 8 parts of speech, and then they write about the picture and history using those words. So it can definitely go across the content.
Awesome. I'm even thinking, Selena, as you present about integrating art into it and more of a kinesthetic sensory item. If you've ever heard of story stones, where you just get like a smooth stone and then you can have students paint a scene on the stone, and then that could be their what they describe, you know, their nouns, their adjectives and things like that, and then use that. So
Absolutely. I mean, you could even take it outside where they're describing the environment around them too. So there's so many things that you can change and adapt and modify to make it engaging. It's just not teaching in isolation, putting it all together, and then we're teaching them the 8 parts because we want them to be able to write, you know, and have that strong descriptive writing. So it puts it back together in that content. Right. And Jennifer was going to share some other things too with the accessibility.
yes,
I'm going to hand it
know.
over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We go until what time this evening?
I think it's 4:45, right? An hour.
4:45. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got about 15 more minutes.
Okay, great. So yeah, I was just going to talk a little bit about that kinesthetic piece. You know, we have students that encounter resistance to writing in general. So I know you all have strategies that you use. So if there's anything that you would like to share out that you use to engage students. But I was thinking about having, you know, especially at the younger ages, having a personal word wall. I don't know if you guys have ever seen where a teacher takes a cookie sheet and then they have magnet tiles with words on them or letters on them to help with that. Our team is big on Legos. So I was thinking about those big Legos that you can get, you know, the building blocks. And I know that this Eduprotocol, again, is aligned with UDL, and there's a lot of color coding in there. But what if you had those building blocks, you know, what if you had the blue blocks for the nouns and then the yellow blocks, and then you can have them build with the blocks, right? If you take some of those white labels and put it on there. So I was thinking about that. I really had fun with Selena coming up with some ideas. Again, we're all about removing barriers proactively. I know I've seen teachers with writing toolkits, you know, so you can have different sensory items in there to kind of spark engagement, vibrating pens. I know for my own daughter, I have put sandpaper underneath of the writing paper, and it gives her that tactile feedback. So just many different strategies that you can have there.
Jennifer, there's a picture of the Legos with the words on them.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. You're so
Want to
quick.
just give that visual.
Yes, I know. I'm not in the name of UDL. I'm just throwing these things out here and giving that visual. Another thing maybe, and if you guys have any ideas, please share out because I can do my wait time and pause while you guys share. I was thinking about, I know we use those EDROS, evenly distributed response opportunity system sticks that we have in our classrooms, EDROS sticks. But what if you had, you know, a little bucket of sticks that were a certain color, another bucket of sticks that were a certain color, and then you have those parts of speech on there, you know, just to visually give that visual cue to a lot of our students, you know, that this is the part of speech here. And I've also seen those used for story starters. If you have like certain characters, if your students are breaking down and they don't know what to write about, you can have those characters on the green sticks. You know, okay, so here's your characters, here's your setting in this bucket, and here's your plot in this bucket. So those are some ideas. Do you guys have any ideas for getting your students to write more and recognize the parts of speech? All right, well, those were just some ideas for you guys. We wanted to give you some ideas at all levels. And in the last few minutes, I'm just going to go ahead, Selena, if you don't mind, show them where they can get all of these specific tools or resources that you referenced, and then just show them how they can narrow down topic dictionaries and co-writer if they want to use that on their Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoint.
All right, sounds good. So while Jennifer's pulling that up, my fourth graders really enjoyed doing 8 parts, and so they would ask for it. And then when I took this job, I was supposed to loop with them with 5th grade, and I had some asking me about teaching their teacher, their new 5th grade teacher, how to do it because they enjoyed it so much. So the kids will ask for it.
And so back to our toolkit, if you're really excited about getting those parts of speech quick cards out, again, that's going to be the first link here. And then you can print those out. They're in Canva, but that is there. So that's a go-to resource for sure. And then for our PowerPoint districts, know that everything that we just did in Google Slides is also available in PowerPoint. So that's readily available for you guys as well. And then
Just make sure to make a copy in PowerPoint. We couldn't do a forced copy. So in PowerPoint, you just make a copy for yourself.
yes. And then also at the top of the toolkit, if you're excited about this and want to learn more than what we've shown you, the website is linked there. And it gives you all kinds of resources for the little parts and the 8 parts. And then if you're part of our project in UDL, let me just find one of these slides. You also have access to co-writer, and if you don't, it can be purchased for a free fee, but it is something that is amazing because it has built-in speech recognition and word prediction. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on our co-writer, and you can see that I have more at the bottom of my screen. Standing. And so that was the horizontal view. It's going to be tricky. It wants to stay at the horizontal view there for me. But if I go to my settings in co-writer, that's where I can really customize it depending on what age level of students or what writing need or barrier I need to remove. So in co-writer, what's nice, especially for your younger kids, you can, when you're using co-writer prediction, it is trying to predict what you're saying from 40,000 plus words. So I can't remember what our words were that we used, but if I say, wow, I want to say, wow, I want to start there. So you can see how these words are changing. So this may be necessary for some of our students, but it's good for all. So it's going to just give me these words as I'm writing. It's going to help with my prediction. If I wanted to turn on a topic dictionary that's specific about my image or what prompt I'm using to think about nouns and verbs and things like that, then I can go to my topic dictionary area, and I'm just going to go to a shortcut here, but I could say, you know what, I want the words that have to do with horses to pop up. Horses. So then when I go back to my writing, as I'm writing, your guys' writing was so much more creative. Brown. So notice how as I start to type horse, it is the second word in my word prediction box because I have that topic dictionary turned on. So you may have all of these words available, all words available from 40,000 plus words for your students. But if you want to really narrow it down for your students, so those words that pop up are more specific to what they're doing, you could change this from all words to just core words. And that's going to be those 1,000 functional words that we use. That's going to pop up there in my word prediction box. And then whatever topic dictionary. So it's just really narrowing it down to make it more accessible to our younger students. So if you get a chance to delve into co-writer, please do so. But another resource is that speech recognition. And I love showing students if they just need one word and they want to use their voice because they don't know how to spell a word. I show them how to use speech to text as needed. But let me just get back here real quick and just show you, if you want your students to use the speech recognition and co-writer, there's a speaker here, and in my screen is in the bottom right. And I can speak in English, or I can speak in another language and have it translated into English with my second tab there. But you would just click on the button and speak. And again, think it, say it, check it, fix it. We need to use that student success strategy. Now, if they don't like this box, again, it is so nice just to have speech to text as needed. And that way it's comforting to know, check this out right there. I have this little speaker. And if I can't think of a word and I can't spell a word, all I have to do is just click on my little speaker, and then it's going to pick up my voice.
Play my little speaker and then it's going to pick up my voice.
Sorry, that wasn't very creative writing there. Is there any question about the accessibility features that we've shared with you this evening?
I just want to say thank you for sharing I didn't realize about the 1,000 words one, Jen, and now I'm gonna have to look and see where it was, but that was new learning for me, and this is our team, so thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. So on that note, just so you know as well, because sometimes, we want to match the tool with the goal, right, to remove those barriers. And sometimes, when we go into those younger grades and we turn on co-writer, it's like, oh, there's 40,000 plus words. So really narrowing it down. So if you play with this area, you could also go to no words. And so no words is going to just have those words that are specific to your topic. So you can have up to 6 topics turned on here. And so in your word prediction box, just words specific to those topics. So you really have to think about what the goal is. But yeah, that's there as well. And then in the name of UDL and accessibility, we have Donkey and Shrek saying we need to really check it out, right? We really need to check this out. He's his witty sidekick that is very endearing. I love the donkey. But so in co-writer, we have a quick way for all students to check it out, right? When they check it, when they think it, say it, or write it, think it, say it, think it, write it, whatever, however they're using, think it, use your pencil, check it, fix it. We do all of that no matter what platform we're using. But in the bottom right of co-writer, we have these pillars that our students can choose from. And when they check it, it's going to give them the auditory feedback and a visual cue of what they wrote. So it's going to be that built-in text to speech. So if I would go to somebody's amazing writing here, I could, well, that's not going to work. So let's not do that. Anyways, I'm just going to show you what you would do because we're out of time. We're conveniently out of time. So if I go back here, I don't want speech to text as needed. I just want as needed off. And wherever I'm at, co-writer works in Microsoft Word Online, Google Docs, Google Slides, Microsoft PowerPoint. But you have these 3 features down here in the bottom right, or if you have your box, it is going to be at the bottom of your box. Okay. So we looked at speech to text. We looked at the topic dictionaries, but here is your quick word processor. It's a speaker. It says read. So if you click on that, your students can check it with a triple click. It's going to take them right back to the beginning of their writing, and then it's going to read it back to them so they can check it in that check it phase. But if you have any questions about free tools, free accessibility tools, or the tools that are purchased as part of our project, reach out to us. We're always excited to show you a new way, and we're learning every day. I just want you to know, I learned some new features as I was practicing for this cafe. So, are there any final thoughts or questions? Because it is 4:45.
Like I would end a classroom, like, do you have a rose petal and or a thorn? So one rose petal, one thorn. You can even put it in the chat.
I like to say on behalf of Belen Schools, I learned more now, and we're doing a big initiative with 3,500 students. We're in all the classrooms, so it's pretty heavy. So the partnership and what I've learned with the coaches has motivated a lot of students as I look at the user part of it. So thank you, Team New Mexico UDL, and thank you, Janae, for allowing them to take on this big project. It's huge, and the team has, and Janae, I'm trying to recruit them. They're just amazing coaches. They're amazing coaches and potential administrators. So
Do
that
not steal
team
my
is,
team.
I know, I'm just teasing you. But if they want to, just
I
kidding.
know. I was all, don't
Can't
steal my
hold them.
team. But
know.
also, before everybody leaves, we will be dropping it tonight, actually, as we speak. We are hosting a UDL conference on December 7th. And so please be on the lookout for that flyer. If you don't get the info from us, it's the first time we've been able to throw, I know it's coming out of nowhere, but this is what we do best. So we will be sending you the info. Please sign up. Please share with everybody. Space is limited, but we are really practicing what we're preaching, and we're throwing out a huge UDL conference on December 7th here in town at Workforce Center, the CNM Workforce Training Center. So we love you all. We thank you guys for joining us. We value your time. Please, this will be recorded and I will post it as soon as it's done buffering. So check out our YouTube channel because we have all of our trainings and stuff there. Selena and Jennifer, you guys did amazing. Please feel free to reach out to us. We will drop our email in the chat, which is fun. You can reach all of us in one shot at nmudlcoaches@crecnm.org. And Renee, I love you guys for being a partner with us. And I love everybody else who's joined us as well. Our cafes keep growing, so share the wealth. Our goal is to try to give you guys something you can take back and use right away in your classrooms. So thanks everybody for joining us today. We appreciate you all. Good job, Jennifer and Selena. We appreciate you guys.
And if you're a part of our team, we can model the strategies for you too in your classrooms.